What is going on, guys and girls? It's GhostRobo, and my baby is back. Evolve is reborn, revitalized, rising up from the ashes as a fiery, feisty, ferocious phoenix. This is Evolve Stage 2, and we are gonna tell you all about it. I've known about this for a couple weeks now, and I've been so freaking excited because you know how much I love Evolve, you know how much I love the community and the events and the videos, and now Turtle Rock has revitalized and rebirthed and redone the entire thing. Evolve is now free to play. They've modified Hunt so every class can dome. They've changed the class abilities and some abilities of the characters and the classes. They've added challenges, and they've made the entire store all accessible through in-game progression. They've added polish everywhere. They've changed up the UI, the interface. They've added transparency, and all in all, like, huge kudos to Turtle Rock for making this happen. Huge kudos to 2K for allowing and supporting this big, momentous change. It's insanely rare, if not unprecedented, that a major AAA game would not only go free to play, that's been done, but have the transparency that they had. They wrote an open letter to fans saying how much they love Evolve and how hyped they were and how excited they were that everyone else was hyped, and then how the DLC was, and I quote, a shitstorm, and how it sort of drained the enthusiasm. And they were very transparent and open, and I love that kind of honesty, and you don't see that these days. And so I hope that all of these changes are well received, and it revitalizes the player base, and it brings this badass game back. So if you guys are pumped for Evolve again, give this video a big like. Let me know in the comments what you want me to showcase first, which class, which map, which monster. I'm going to go through all the changes here and then play through a match so you have an idea of how it all works. So they've added a lot. You can see the menu is totally different. We now have Play, which is obviously your online play. Training, which is going to give you tutorials, Hunt, and Custom. This is where you'll access your solo play. Challenges, which are these new ways to earn silver keys, which is the in-game currency. Looks like I've got a crate over there with my periodic challenge. My daily challenges can give me 50 silver keys, doing stuff like playing matches, winning matches. Now, everything in the game, from skins to new characters, can be bought with in-game currency. Currently, there is no out-of-game currency. It's all in-game currency and progression-based, so they are not going to milk you for money in any way. This is a follow-through for the fans and a follow-through for the game, and to try to bring back what it was always meant to be, which was one of the most incredibly awesome next-gen multiplayer experiences available on console or PC. They're starting with it on PC. It's free to play on Steam right now, and they are going to master this and then move it to consoles later as quickly as they can. What I also like is that they've added something to the store. So you'll see that there are characters and there are monster skins, but there now are freaking hunter skins, and I don't feel bad for loving them because they're all acquirable through in-game currency, and you get the silver keys for leveling up. They've streamlined the progression system. You get the silver keys for completing challenges. You get them for doing a whole lot of things. There's even hidden challenges like changing your badge up, which I'll show you in a second. But they've added super freaking cool hunter skins, which I just love. I never was really into the weapon skins. Sorry guys, I just didn't like the fact that it was modifying your on-screen gun and so limited. Except for Daisy, you didn't really see a lot of the change in game. But now hunter skins do crazy stuff like give Bucket a mustache, and my golly, this one gives me the chills, but also strikes a feral instinct to just destroy everything. It's probably a schism for Lazarus, as he wants to heal but also wants to hurt with this Blood Eagle hunter skin. But I freaking love it, and I can't wait to see all the others that they add. This is the early access build of the game, of Stage 2, so I'm sure they will add more as time goes on, but you'll see things cost, and there also is obviously ways to earn them. Like I mentioned, your rewards for leveling up, your rewards for completing challenges, and a very sleek and aesthetically pleasing way to see all of your characters. Now, this little cyclone symbol indicates, I believe, skins, hunter skins. That's all I can think of. Unless it also might be the hunters that are in rotation, because they will have hunters and monsters in rotation weekly or whatnot, so there are free ones constantly. My sexy new badge is beautiful from a color scheme and a character standpoint. I just want to point that out. But fear not, if you did buy Evolve and you have already paid for stuff or already bought the season passes, all that stuff will be unlocked automatically. It's called the Founders Pack, and so you will be a founder once you enter the game. And so once I booted this up, it went through this insanely long scroll of all the stuff that I've unlocked, which was super cool, and gives you a chance to not have to play again to unlock Gorgon or to unlock the magma skin for Kraken or whatnot. One thing that you will want to unlock, though, that is brand new, is their new perk system. They've come up with a 3-tier perk system: minor, major, and superior perks. It's basically a bronze, silver, gold. It reminds me of something along the lines of Call of Duty multiplayer, but it's pretty darn cool, and I'll show you from the monster standpoint first. They have obviously messed with the entire selection screen here. I think it's super cool, super sleek. Just overall, they've leveled this game up in every way, and that's sort of the purpose behind, I think, Evolve Stage 2. Not only is it Stage 2 for the game in terms of now it's free to play and it's changed and it's evolving, but it's bettered itself in every way. It has evolved, not just from a thematic standpoint, but from a true down and dirty, gritty mechanic standpoint, interface standpoint, overall game standpoint. It's really bettered itself. And a funny thing here is that it's called Stage 2. So is there going to be a Stage 3 at some point? Are they hinting that eventually this iteration of Evolve will find itself receiving a even further improvement or even further makeover? That's something to ponder for the future. But right now, let's dig into this incredible perk system. Now, you pick your abilities as you always did, and some of them have been adjusted to fit this new hunt mode where every character can dome. Obviously, by removing that class ability specifically from the Trapper, you need to make some modifications to not only the hunters, but to the monsters as well. Now, they've added a 5-minute countdown timer for everyone to use the dome, and it sounds like a long time, but a lot of that time is taken up by the actual dome experience of the monster, so fear not, it's not that painful. And then someone else can use the dome, which I think is probably a brilliant way to not only make the game more streamlined and more fun, but also to make it better for solo players. We'll talk about that at a later point. Also, don't forget to let me know in the comments below what you want to see more of, which characters first. And I think I might have said that. I don't know. Anyways, this is the minor perks. I like to think of it as bronze, silver, and gold. The first tier of perks boost your character a little bit, the second a little bit more, and the third a lot. So you have to sort of decide how you're going to craft your playstyle and how you're going to craft your monster or hunter to best fit what you want to do. And there's things like climb speed, traversal, regen, movement speed, things that you initially would pick in Evolve OG edition as your perk, but now you have a little bit more control, and there's ways to upgrade and unlock these. So say we see the hunger perk that has feeding speed, 6% movement, and I want to take it to the third and final level. I'll spend my silver keys, and now it has 40% feeding speed. Now 40% feeding speed is quite a bit, and that's something I want to add. I'm going to use it as my minor perk here, because later you'll see as a major or a superior perk, I have other options. So major perk introduces cooldown reduction. You've got pounce damage. There's also feeding speed here, but you'll see it's a major perk, so it does more. So this third stage of the hunger perk is 40 and 8. Now, if I go to the first stage of insatiable hunger, which is sort of the silver tier or the major tier of this perk, it's 40 and 10 at the start. So if we boosted that up, it would be even greater. But I would rather do something like melee attack slow targets. Maybe I want them to deal extra damage. Maybe I want damage reduction. Climbing speed. Sorry, I'm like so pumped. I'm doing this super late at night. I'm going to go with cooldown reduction, and I don't have enough to upgrade that, but I'm going to go there and access the gold tier. And now gold tier puts some pretty big boosts on your monster, but not too much to really mess with the balance. Again, remember that the hunters are going to have a similar situation here. Climb speed, traversal, and damage on that one. If you look at ferocious bloodlust, you got climb speed, feeding speed, and smell range. So perhaps you want to go back and you're like, you know what? Hunger doesn't matter so much to me. I want armor regen, and then I want cooldown, and then I'm going to go with Ferocious Bloodlust here because that gives me the feeding speed I want plus climbing speed. No movement speed, but it gives me sort of an interesting lineup. Now, if I go back and show you things from the Hunter perspective, I'm not going to dig into every character. You'll notice that some modifications have been made to them at a class level. So for the most part, Assault is the same. Defense Matrix is still a way to boost the shields and protect the Assault. It just has a different visual flair, and some of the other moves got visual upgrades as well, even if they weren't changed entirely. So Assault kind of stays the same. Trapper is where we start to notice the big differences. So Trappers here have Planet Scanner, which is their new class ability that allows them to ping the monster and point in the direction of the monster on everyone's mini-map. So think of it as sort of a smell for the hunters, per se, because now everyone can dome, so Trapper doesn't need that specifically. So let's give Trapper something that will support the team. And I'm sure, as you think, if you combine that with Daisy, you could probably come up with some quick hunting action, especially since everyone can dome now. The medic has remained sort of the most unchanged of everyone, because if you think about it, they did the least in terms of trapping the monster. So you'll see that outside of skins, they basically have, I think, yes, that Cyclone means it's in rotation. But outside of skins, they are basically the same. They got that healing burst except for Rogue Valve, the healing field. But again, we move to support and we see another big difference. The invisibility has been made invisible and removed from the game, and now it's a shield burst, which gives every other hunter a shield and sort of helps everyone stay protected when it is needed as sort of a last-ditch effort to survive. Bucket also has had his head screwed on tight and glued in place. I'm guessing because of the Planet Scanner ability, they didn't want you to also be able to scan with Bucket's head, and then also kind of becomes redundant at that point. So he receives Mechanized Recharge, which allows him to decrease the cooldowns for all the other Hunter abilities so that everyone can sort of cast their specials a little bit more speedily, which I think is nice. So I don't know that there's any other changes. There might be slight ones. If there's any I'm missing, I do apologize. Like I said, I am just going through this sort of for the first time. I'm going to be streaming a ton of it, probably streaming right now, and hopefully get all the good, juicy details from Chris Ashton and the whole team over there. But yeah, if we go in and we pick like Lazarus, who is my dude, and he's got his different skins, as you can see, that freaking Blood Eagle, damn, girl. We pick him, he has perks as well, and so you've got jump height, movement speed, damage increase, jetpack flight, all this stuff that are for the hunters, you know, view outlines of creatures and traps. So say we want to item swap speed to be faster, whole bunch of perks at the major level for the hunters, which is awesome. And a lot of these are going to be similar to what you saw in the original game, except now you're equipping 3 of them and sort of building a loadout more than you were before. So I'm going to give like reload to him, and then the gold tier, the superior tier. Jetpack flight, jetpack jump height, movement speed. I mean, movement speed is a pretty big deal for a hunter, and that's sort of how you will modify and mess with your perk system in order to better prepare for your monster mayhem. I think these changes are super sweet. I can't wait to see how they play out. I'm going to play as all the new, obviously the classes of the new abilities, and maybe we'll make videos of the new hunter skins and just kind of go ham if people are into it, like I hope they are. I really hope that this revitalizes the player base in a way that, you know, brings back longtime fans and longtime players, and you know, incorporates and invites new players who now can try it completely for free. And as of right now, as you saw before we jump into a match, there is no way to buy anything. Now that's not to say they don't add purchasable silver keys in the future, but I wouldn't be opposed to that. It's sort of like the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare methodology, how everything is accessible with in-game currency, but for the people that do have extra money to blow or want to access stuff quicker, they are able to spend money on things that are not going to affect really the balance of the game. So if you want to go in here and buy Lennox with real paper and coin, then you can do that. Well, you can't right now, but maybe you can, and that wouldn't bother me because it's not messing with the balance, especially since they're putting different hunters and monsters on rotation, so you will be able to access and try out different people. So let's dive in as the monster. I think that'll be sort of just the best overall initial look here, and actually we're going to do a custom game just to make things nice and cool. So we'll do Hunt. Arena obviously still there. There are 4 maps that they have modified to best fit the new Hunt and sort of the way they're doing things. I'm not sure if they're going to be adding everything in or how that will work, but they've made modifications. As you can see, they look different, and you can give obviously fair weather or whatnot, but they're looking to balance and better the game in every way possible. So we can make it balanced. Obviously, all this stuff is still there. Character perks are still there, and we'll dive into the character-specific perks for each class as I make those videos. But for right now, let's turn those on, and let's turn Elite Wildlife on, and let's just dive in and see what is up. I will be the monster, and I'll dive in as Gold Kraken, and we will rock and roll with some lightning strikes, some vortex. And then I'm just going to go for kind of that. Let's actually go for Unstoppable for the regen there. And then we'll go with Mutated Recovery. And then I'm going to grab that Ferocious Bloodlust for all that extra speed, which I think will be good. So we've got a lovely ensemble of characters to play against. And you can see eventually Hunter skins for everyone will be added. And some of those, like, Bucket and Slim looking freaking like they're part of the Avengers, or the Evolve Avengers, the Sheer Avengers, if you will, which is super cool. And here we go. A lot of the stuff is carryover, obviously, but they have added the announcer to hunt from Arena, which I think is cool. So Lennox, Emmett, Griffin, and Cabot. That's probably not the best abbreviation we can make out of those four, but it'll have to do for now. Kraken, let's get to work, my friend. I've not played Evolve in a long time, so forgive me if I'm not up to snuff, but I'm going to be streaming it for 8 hours on the launch day of Evolve Season 2, or Stage 2, so I will get my fair share of experience to get back into this glorious game with you guys, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can play a bunch of it for a big, long boatload of more videos for the series. There's also numbers now when you make attacks, and I don't know if that was added in a recent patch or if that's new for Stage 2, but it's new to me. They've also reduced load times, and they've kind of just streamlined the experience all in all. And you'll see it says Dome Ready now, because that is the countdown that the hunters have. And I'm going to try to focus on just kind of letting stuff happen just so you can see how it all works out. So I've been tracked by the planet scanner, and that's going to point the hunters in the correct direction. And I like kind of the number thing. It reminds me of Borderland or Battleborn, something of the sort. And I think it's just a nice way to further sort of incentivize and, you know, visually reward you for the awesomeness that you're doing. Now, it could just be me, but I feel like the traversal regen has been sped up tremendously. And again, I don't know if that's not because everyone can dome. They wanted to speed up the monsters. Hopefully I'll get some time to talk with Chris Ashton and everyone over at Turtle Rock and learn all the goodies about the adjustments and the changes, and then can relay that back to you in future videos. But you'll see the dome has gone down, and now that timer is activated. So we're here in the dome, and everyone is ready to play. And like I said, I'm not looking to have like the most incredible game or anything. Just mostly looking to kind of showcase what's going on here as those numbers swoop down and hit Cabot and Griffin from above. Will come in. Cabot's trying to do his darndest to take me down, but I'm going to say no. There's that shield matrix you'll see on Lennox activating it to try and keep me away. Let's see if we can move into Griffin and Cabot and take those guys down. Just get a little knockdown there to help us survive as best we can. Lobbing electric missiles from above. I feel like the monster also has a much stronger or a much longer like, the armor does go down eventually, but it seems like it takes a little bit longer. I could be crazy on that, but I do know that they would have had to make a lot of balance changes in order for this all to work out. And so it only makes sense if some things were different. Now, as I say that, her health, his health, the Kraken's health is going down insanely fast. They're trying to get in here and get the revive. I really want to see Griffin use his shield burst nonsense. I'm sorry, not Griffin. I want to see. Well, I guess I killed Cabot, so we're not getting a whole lot of that. But I would love to see that shield burst into effect. Emmett still has the healing burst. Lennox the shield matrix. Griffin over there on the planet scanner, and then Cabot with a whole lot of shield love. It's interesting that they totally removed sort of the what do you call it, the invisibility. But again, I just want to show you sort of how the game goes. The dome is now charging, and I've been in the dome for quite a while. So the 5-minute timer seems like a long thing, but it's really not gonna do. You know, it's really not gonna be like, oh, you're waiting forever. And I'm just gonna let them kill me here, just so for the purpose of this video is to showcase what's new going on here. That totally was not me trying at all. Anyhow, I want to show you the post-match screen and how the progression has changed and we'll get to that in a split second here. So, once we load out, a nice quick round. Gosh, those hunters are great. But we're leveling up, and we're making progress. So you'll see I've got my daily challenges. I got some silver keys from my round bonus, from the 2 levels I gained. And then you'll see the challenges here. Obviously, I did not win the match to Salt Sport or Kraken, but that would give me a periodic crate, and I'm guessing that gives me some sort of reward, maybe a skin or something. Then there's daily challenges, and if you're not a fan of those daily challenges, you can go out here and swap them out. So if I want to replace a challenge, I can replace a challenge, and I can say, you know what, today I don't want to play as Goliath. So I'm going to replace that and swap it out. And it will reload, and now I've got a Kraken challenge. So now, you know, if I win as Kraken and I play as Kraken, I will get the 50 and the crate over there, which would be pretty darn nice. So that is Evolve Stage 2 in a nutshell. I think it is incredible, and most of all, I'm just so glad to see one of my all-time favorites, possibly still my favorite game of this generation, from an overall just mechanics and methodology and madness standpoint, revitalized and reborn in a way that I think is really going to appeal to people who were put off by the DLC or put off by the way that Hunt worked. And you have to notice that the way that they have invigorated the Hunt mode is also to support solo cures. So now if you don't have communication, everyone can dome, so there's a little bit more, you have a little bit more control of the match, and if you're stuck with a lame duck trapper, you're not just screwed. And hopefully that plays out. Hopefully it brings back enough people that you can play with people you know and can play with communication, but I've noticed them making tweaks and changes to better accommodate the individual lone wolf. Overall, hats off, Turtle Rock. You did fantastic. Hats off 2K for letting and helping make this happen. I think free-to-play is a fantastic way to go for Evolve. I think all the additions and modifications look to be super good. I can't wait to test them out with the classes and characters myself, and I cannot wait, as silly as it sounds, to go after those hunter skins in the Silver Key quest for unlockables, because I, as you know, love the monster skins. And now there's freaking hunter skins, and some of them are so dope. Like this Lazarus Blood Eagle still kind of scares me and probably will give me nightmares, but it's freaking awesome, and I have to have it. And I am excited to see what else they do. Throwing a heart and a mustache on bucket is beautiful, and some of these I can tell are going to be just skins to remember. And it's so much better than weapon skins, which weapon skins are cool, but I was never a fan. I never spent any money on weapon skins, really, because, I mean, I did it occasionally, and I got some through, like, the weekly challenges. But I didn't, you know, I wasn't too into it because it's just a gun on screen. I never found gun skins to be that exciting. But hunter skins and monster skins, that's where it's at. Especially because now it's all earned through in-game currency and play and not through forking over extra money, extra of your own money. So Evolve Stage 2, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see next? Which characters? I'll bring them your way. Hopefully you guys are as jazzed and excited as I am. Again, I am so glad that Evolve is back in a big way. Had no idea this was going to happen. Found out about it about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and was like, holy crap, I want to talk about this right now, and I couldn't, and now I can. And it feels so good and so right. So that's Evolve Stage 2. I love you guys. Thanks for all the support you've given me and Evolve throughout the ages. And hopefully we have a new age, a new era of Evolve to look forward to now. Until that time, everybody, thanks again for watching. I love you so much. Drink so much, all. Until next time, we will see you all later.